It's Backstage Pass with Steve Ryan. And here's your host, Steve Ryan.
Hey there.
Hey, Glenn, how are you?
I'm doing all right, thank you.
Well, thank you for giving me some time today, brother. I'm so happy to see you.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to be here.
I've been talking about trying to get you on here for about a year or so. So I'm so happy that that we're here and this project came out. I had Dean on about a year ago, and we had a really great conversation. You guys had some stuff going on, but now this Rings acoustic session album is so great, man.
Oh, thank you. We're really proud of it.
How did you guys decide? I mean, you guys have been together like 35 years, something like that.
It's going to be 40 since we actually formed in high school. So 40 years this year.
Wow. And
I
so
know, it's crazy.
how do you decide on, I think there's 14 tracks on the album. I mean, they're all your babies. How do you decide who makes the cut and who doesn't? Was that, I don't know, really tough?
It wasn't tough, actually. It was kind of a fun process because and we recorded more than we put on the record, but there's the songs that we kind of have to do, right? There's the all I Want, Something's Always Wrong, Walk on the Ocean. I mean, so the singles have to be in there, and then we wanted something off of every album. So that was a matter of like choosing a couple to record off of each one, and then just deciding what first off, what came out in the studio the way we wanted it, and second off, just what fit together to make the right vibe for the album. So it wasn't an arduous process. And we have kind of fan favorites. There's stuff like Little Heaven that we recorded for Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
Yeah.
and we've never had a great time playing that live. Like making it work was often a problem, and that one was such a pleasure to have it come together and feel so good for this version.
Ride these waves of time, beat up in your mind, you will exhale, cinnamon cloud.
So glad that people get to have that song again, especially.
Yeah. What was it about Rings that made the title cut?
I mean, I think both that it was kind of the last thing we did, and we'd recorded a version that was more like the original, that was kind of upbeat and rock, and that's another song that we've all loved, but hasn't felt right, and had the idea to play it as a ballad, and all of a sudden it made sense in a new way. So
Yeah.
part of it was just the pleasure of that, and part of it was, it's 40 years. It's Rings on a Tree. It's like that's probably a decent sized tree.
Knowing that I would live forever, isn't it strange how truth can change, and all the simple pleasures. This ring tells of rain, and this one summer, dry spell.
Brother, your vocals are strong as ever. I mean, your vocals are so great on this. I mean, they're kind of reimagined, but I mean, it's you. You sound as great as today as you did on those tracks when they originally came out. How How are you keeping your voice so healthy and sounding so great?
Mostly a lack of sleep, lack
Yeah.
of hydration,
Yeah.
all the classics. But I mean, also a lot of the songs are moved down, even a full step, which is a lot. And I don't know. Some people are really like, you should always sing in the original key, but
Yeah.
the original key of a lot of those songs was so far at the top of my range that I actually had to have throat surgery after the Fear tour because I was just having to shout through everything. And so we've just moved him back a little closer. I'm more of a baritone than a tenor. And I think just you know, taking them into keys where I can really control things more
Yeah.
and leaving the ones up higher that are good for that. But a lot of it's just, vocal care. We warm up,
Yeah.
hydrate, try to sleep enough. But,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, man, you sound good. When you guys
thank
go
you.
out, yeah, when you guys go out on the road this year, are you going to, is it going to be the stripped down, these reimagined versions that you're going to be playing? How are you going to, what's going to, the mix going to be?
No, well, the idea for the record came because we started doing a little more of an extended. We used to do maybe one song acoustic at most in the set, but we'd, play at meet and greets. We'd play at radio stations. We always played acoustically. We did a couple of records we called Acoustic Dance Party that
Yeah.
were for our old fan base back in the day when it was snail mail,
Yeah.
pre-email, right?
Yeah.
And we would send out as like a gift to people who signed up for that. We would print up a CD, or it was started on cassette of like, a few acoustic recordings. And so it's always been a part of us. But we you had started playing almost as a joke at the first time we played the song Good Intentions,
Mhm.
which is another song we liked, but didn't always like playing. It was a little bouncy and pop, and it kind of worked really well in this bluegrass mode.
Yeah.
And so uh, that got us thinking about it more in general. And touring with Bare Naked Ladies, they would always do this breakdown thing, and we really enjoyed that part of their set. So we stole that from them. And so you asked about the tour, though. We're going to be doing on the Men at Work Shonen Knife tour. We're doing a little subset. Maybe we'll do 4 songs instead of 3 this time. But in the fall, we're planning on doing like maybe just 10 cities or something, like a couple week major market, and doing the acoustic thing, bringing out a couple of extra players to kind of add the color.
Yeah.
So we can have accordion and a really good keyboard player. And so that's the plan for the fall tour.
July and August, I think you were talking about going out with Men at Work. I had Colin Hay on here a few
Mm-hmm.
months ago. Man, he is the nicest man ever. Have you met
He's
him
great.
before?
I actually did a tour in the UK and Scotland with him just a couple of months ago, and
Yeah.
really enjoyed being with him. Loved his shows. And I mean, he was sick, and he was still like, I can't get to sleep. I can't sing
Yeah.
that high
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
a good day. He just nailed it every night. Yeah, he's amazing.
He's so nice. It's just I was listening to the album, and the version that you guys do of Fall Down on there, the
Mm-hmm.
acoustically, man, that is so good.
Oh, thank you. It's spooky on that too. Like I think Robert Stevenson, who mixed it, did this wonderful, and, and we, there's all the. How are you going to approach this acoustic recording? And he had this way. He mixes Queens of the Stone Age. And he mixed this as well. And so he was able to bring a kind of aggression into it where it has a dreamy quality, but it also has this kind of rock immediacy.
When will we fall? And when will we fall down? They drop by, gotta get out of here.
There were a lot of discussions early on about the attitude of the record. We knew we wanted to do it, and um, I was thinking something very natural and in the room together, and it ended up being much more of a studio project. Um, and when those mixes came in, it started to make sense. And we even remixed a few things towards the end of the project. But like finding the sound of it and the kind of the attitude towards it in the mix process, I think really helped us understand what the project was as well, because we were kind of mixing as we went.
Yeah. You talked about this version of Good Intentions, and it kind of hit me because I was listening this morning. It kind of has this country feel, this version of Good Intentions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's hard to rely on my good intentions when my head's full of things that I can't mention. It seems I usually get things right, but I can't understand what I did last night. There's little relief. Give us reprieve. Oh, and imagining the world outside. I'm positive that I'm not blind.
Quasi, it's California bluegrass.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and you worked with Nickel
Kinda.
Creek in those
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
So, I mean, it didn't surprise me. Well, I take it back. It kind of did surprise me. But then when I started thinking about it and the things that you've done outside of Toad, then yeah, it's like, okay, this all makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You enjoy that kind of bluegrass sound, don't you?
I do. I enjoy variety, and I like to not get too comfortable in one place. I play a lot solo acoustic, and the touring and the working with Nickel Creek as well as that taught me so much about how to play. I mean, just being on tour with them and the songs I would sit in on, just strumming that fast and learning how to keep up with them, and not like I was terrified most nights. I was definitely the weak link instrumentally, and I had to really get my game up to be a part of that. And so I enjoy, getting out of my comfort zone, and it's always good to switch things around, which is part of the fun of this project too. It's going to be really fun to play these things live when we go out with it, because the Toad Show's a certain thing, but we're putting on a big rock show, so it's very often the same set list. We mix it up from year to year, but there's lights, there's kind of a lot to coordinate technically, and so part of what I like about playing with people like Nickel Creek is you never know what's going to happen, and you have to be able to turn on a dime, and it's different every single night, and just the even if the song structure stays the same, but sometimes you just take it where you feel it, and I really love playing in that mode where there's always surprise, and with them it's always delightful. So
Oh, they're so good, man. I love them too.
yeah.
Something that didn't make the cut, and I think it was a pretty good hit, but it was from the Empire Records, "Crazy Life." It's one of my favorite songs you guys do, and man, did you guys think? And I talked to Dean about this a little bit too, but I'd like to get your perspective. When you decide to put out a song or give a song to a soundtrack or something like that, is it's like, yeah, well, this could have been a B-side or something like that, and then sometimes it just happens, kind of like Good Intentions. Really wasn't. You guys didn't plan on that being a hit.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, we didn't. But things come out, and it's a great song. I love the way Todd sings that, and it was timely. I'd been reading "In the Spirit of Crazy Horse," and the story of Leonard Peltier and the American Indian movement, and he's finally free, which is wonderful. So That song has meant a lot to us. But yeah, it's bizarre how a song like that becomes a single.
Remember here, did you all think it just disappeared? Crazy life. What have you done with penalty? Who do you think you're taking away? Crazy life.
What is it about this group of guys that, like you said, 40 years? I mean, many friendships don't last that long. Many marriages don't last that long. But you guys are still, and you've had your togethers and your sabbaticals and stuff like that. But what is it about this group behind me that you guys still enjoy getting together and doing your thing? It's a special friendship, isn't it?
It is. It's almost more, it is more familial than anything else. And, we have some habits from high school that we still fall into. We've known each other that long, and so it's not like the relationships can't be difficult, but I think we all appreciate each other's strengths. I mean, no one plays guitar like Todd. Has that kind of unique voice on guitar that only he can do what he can do. Dean is this amazing lyrical bass player and great keyboard player, and is really risen up. Even in this project, like he took a lot of the reins of getting the other musicians in and arranging that, and had this kind of vision for how it should sound. And I think we all appreciate each other's talents, and I think as time goes on too, we've appreciated each other more and more. I mean, we definitely had years where it was really hard, and I think a willingness to forgive and move on, a willingness to value what we do as a musical group. And I think we all think at this point we should have taken a break instead of breaking up at the end of Coil. But we'd only ever done one thing and it had gone well. So I think we all thought that's how life worked. And so it would have been better to do a side project, to break off, have me do a solo album, have everybody do something and then get back together. But we broke up and the record company was really pissed and made sure we couldn't get signed elsewhere. So, a few years lost in bitterness and entitlement, and a lot of lessons learned.
Do you feel like now, you've got history, you've sold records, is the pressure kind of off? You don't have anything to prove, kind of thing. Does that make life easier creatively?
Yes, it's nice. And this record was also, my personal worries and everything were a little less, just because this was an easier thing to pull off, like where we were choosing fan favorite songs, our favorite songs. It's not like we wrote a whole new thing, and but I love the way that this ties the history together, instead of being this compilation where you can, it's a piece and it has its own vibe and it has its own integrity and feels like a real album. And so I think we're all really proud of that. But we're very slowly writing towards a new record, and I always lose my shit when we're putting out something new. It's a vulnerable thing to do that. But, I'm probably a writer first and foremost. And so, I do the writing process and the recording process, and I really love those processes. I love the touring, but I hate the album release because I'm, rejection sensitivity dysphoria. I'm looking for every negative comment that, and so, and that when you put the album out, all of a sudden the metrics for success are numeric, right? They're how many units did you push and how many plays did you get? And it's these things that those all stress me out like crazy.
When you were kind of figuring yourself out and decided, yeah, as a teenager, high school or whatever it was, when you decided I want to be a musician, who are your musical influences? Who are you vibing off of?
I mean, when we started, when I met them, I was listening to a lot of like Rush and Ozzy and Rat,
Wow.
Iron Maiden. I
Yeah.
was in kind of a metal and prog phase, and uh, we were in high school theater together, and I thought I was going to be a theater major, and then later I thought I was going to like teach social sciences. That was kind of my life plan, because I realized I was a little fragile to want to expose myself and have to audition or make music and be judged, and just wanted to be in the arts but be creative. But like I had good teachers, and I thought I want to be like them. But we were in theater together. We were doing Our Town, and we did Oklahoma, and Todd had a station wagon, and I was lazy and didn't want to bike home, and found out he lived 2 blocks from me. So I would get a ride home from him, and he had this record collection that was like Replacements and Husker Du.
Yeah.
And so he really turned me on to a whole new world of music and this kind of more emotional, like, more right brain, less left brain kind of lyrical style. And I was really into that. So we started writing songs together, and then pretty soon Randy and Dean came in, and, we were playing shows in town. And, with that as well, it was, and Randy was really into like Waterboys, U2, Elvis Costello,
Yeah.
and, REM, of course, was there. It was a really great time for like indie music. And so, we started playing shows, and the one club we could play at was original music only. Like the owner, it wasn't because he loved original music, it was because he was cheap and he didn't want to pay ASCAP and BMI.
Right.
So we started singing Happy Birthday once, and he like pulled the plug on the stage, no covers allowed.
Right.
So we had to write. And, so I think, Dean comes from a musical family. I didn't think it would happen. And even when we got signed, it was kind of by accident. We were recording the second record, and, the first one cost $600. The second one cost 6,000, right? These weren't huge productions. And the Marvin Etzioni, who was producing it, his manager worked at ASCAP and gave this guy, Nick Turzo, a copy of our first cassette. And he started dubbing copies off and sending them to record companies. We didn't even know who he was at the time.
Wow.
And so it's not the typical story, right? Of, you work really hard, you play the showcases, you get it came to us. And once again, I think we took a lot for granted at the time of like, oh, I guess this is how you get a record deal. And realized later like that absolutely never happens.
Wow, that is crazy story. I never heard that story before.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, I know we're right at the clock of the time, how much time I promised. I just want to ask you about 3 songs. Before we go, and we were talking about your stuff with Nickel Creek and the Mutual Admiration Society album, which I just love. There's a song on there. My go-to track on there is called "Windmills."
Yeah,
man, I love that song so much, Glenn.
Oh, thank you. That was our Toad cover on that one. That was on the Dulcinea record.
Yeah. But it sounds it's just a fresh take. I don't know if it's just it's the Nickel Creek sound to it. Or, I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's the way, because there's that basic riff, the bum, dum, bum, ba, dum, bum, bum. It's got that chimey, and that's kind of repeating under the chord changes. But especially, Chris and Sean, they're so rhythmically precise, and they do it in a way that feels like effortless and floating instead of like robotic and tight,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It still has groove to it. And they managed to play around that riff and just create, it's like, I think it's like Chris is playing on Ode to a Butterfly on the first Nickel Creek record is the first
I
one that
love that
comes to
song.
mind,
Yeah.
where it's just like, it's fast, but it's not shreddy fast. It's like it sounds like a butterfly. It's light and flowing, even though it's rapid. It just dances, and I think they brought that kind of
Yeah.
energy. And it's just the way they all played on that, and then the legato of Sarah's fiddle, and it all just meshes together really beautifully.
Yeah, man, it's so great.
There's something that you won't show, waiting where the light goes. Maybe anywhere the wind blows. It's all worth waiting for. Anyway the wind blows.
And then you did a solo album, Swallowed by the New. There's a song on there called Go.
Yeah.
And that is so beautiful. I mean, it's just a laid back, track, but man, that's so beautiful.
It's a good little heartbreaker.
I don't wanna waste your time. This light can only shine to warn you far away from shore. Saying I love you. Now go. I love you. Now go.
I co-wrote that. Oh, Olorsky, I'm forgetting his first name. He came in, we were co-writing, and he had the basic melody of the verse, da 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 da, and this one line that was "You know which way to go." And this was kind of just after my divorce, and so. And I'd been listening. I listened to a lot of podcasts, and there was this one talking about foghorns and lighthouses, and how, ultimately the message of a foghorn or a lighthouse is care, right? I don't want you to crash on the rocks. And but most love songs are like, I love you, I want you to come close, I need to hold you. And that song is like, I love you, you need to go your own way. And I was on the receiving end of that at the time. And so that song has a lot of that pain in it. And I also think that song has, in a kind of country way, I'd been listening, I love Peter Gabriel, and he has this way of having songs that have kind of a rapid tempo, but the feel of the playing behind them is kind of halftime.
Yeah.
And so, and that song has this same thing where if you're, when I'm playing it solo, it's harder to get that across. But you listen to the guitar and it's this kind of, straight, I forget what the tempo is, but it's probably 120 or something, and it's like bopping along in this kind of country strum, but then you get the halftime from the drums. And so all of a sudden it makes it really open up. It feels a lot slower than it is.
It does. Yeah. I know exactly what you're saying.
And Jay Bellerose played drums on that. He did such a beautiful job.
Yeah, I love that tune, man. And then Winter Pays for Summer album, there's a song on there that's kind of similar called Courage.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that song is so beautiful.
Oh,
I love your solo stuff too.
Oh, thanks so much.
Bring my courage back. Now would you bring it back to me? Tired of being afraid of what
Hey, where do you want people to go follow you if they, with what you're doing, personally in the band and all that? Where can they keep up with you at?
Well, toadthewetsprocket.com and glenphillips.com. Glen with one N. There's our stuff.
Your socials, are you on Instagram and all that good stuff?
I am on Instagram. I'm there as little as I can be.
I don't blame you.
I pop up. Yeah, it is.
Man, I'm a little over time, but Glen, thank you so much for giving me some time today. I've looked forward to having this conversation. I love what you do. I'm excited about the new album and you hitting the road, and hopefully you'll come near me. Good luck with this project. Thank you for giving me some time. Have a great weekend. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you. Take care.
All right, brother.
All right. Bye.
For questions or comments, email Steve at steveryan.songoftheday@gmail.com.